Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Harris starts the drive on the ground. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They run with Harris. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Back to throw. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded at about the 28. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And he's taken down inside the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, particularly running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
11, 11. 11, 11, 11, 11.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. Flush, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Kerry Wynn in there to bury him for a loss of 11. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
New York set to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, you know, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 38. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
You got 4. You got 4. 13.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Tried to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity. It went by the wayside, but let's not underscore what's going on with this defensive unit. They are around the ball every time it's being put in the air.
11. 11.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find the matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by a Keller Witherspoon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
1, Omaha. 11. Stay hot. 11. Wide. Get wide. Go ahead.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Dante Pettis with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Gold now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. This is Saquon Barkley. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The tackle there by Richard Sherman.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now back to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off by the safety, Jaquiski Tartt. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo looking for the end zone. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. As his guys are in for 6. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Gold now out to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now out come the Giants. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Detroit! Detroit!
The first throw for the backup Lynch. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Solomon Thomas in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will be taken at the 13. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. They run. This is Scarborough, and he powers his way up past the 30. David Emerson able to bring him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming. This is Scarborough. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Garoppolo on first down. A dump down to McKinnon. 23 yards on the play.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw here. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
I got you.
Here's McKinnon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Alec Ogletree leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
The way he's been slinging it in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a 2nd, but you're right, not to be. And Gold is able to put it through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
New York set to take the field.
Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is going to be 49er football. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Over.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back to the booth right after this. They go play action here on 1st down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. If you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
Wait. 13. 11.
After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. Steps away to his left. And his pass incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
11.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime.
11. 21. Here we go.
Garoppolo. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Gold with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Gold now out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And the Giants ready to come out now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the 49ers going to take another timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. The Giants on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 19.
All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
On play action, they'll throw. Sheds off the tackle. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Shepard. They get 20 yards there on 3rd and 19, and an unlikely first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll throw now on the final play. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now Scarborough, and he stopped immediately there. Kerry Wynn, the one to bring him down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
13. 12, fellas, here we go. Check three. Yes.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Over the middle to Kittle, complete. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Garoppolo now. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Garoppolo now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And his throw here's incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
Now McKinnon. And able to work his way down to the 16. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Niners on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers continue to roll. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Gold now out to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they go in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll drop to throw. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Giants on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. And they'll go on the ground. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Here we go. Hurry up. Hurry up. 6.
Snap comes at 1. Garoppolo. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Kerry Wynn in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And Gold is able to put it through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. What's that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Watch left. Tight. Watch left. Watch it now, Barney.
This is Harris. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Watch left. Start right there. Over. All right, here we go.
They'll try and throw for it here. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
11.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Flushed out right. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. In for the score. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Gold now out to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Watch him now, Barney.
They run again with Harris. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Watch you now, Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They'll look to throw. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Lynch now, work to do, certainly, after that sack. This is 3rd and long. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The 49ers getting set to trot out there. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you know, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. And on the ground they go with a running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
And a decent game there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. They run once more with McKinnon. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down. Let's go.
And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now a 1st carry for their fullback. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for the Niners, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Giants, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the Washington Redskins. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.